Hey guys, welcome to our SOFHAB review series, and this time Rascal and I are covering the manga and official announcement for Gachiakuta.
Yes!
I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. If
Right.
not, let me know in the comments.
Right.
Now this one was actually recommended to us by a librarian at our local library who really is excited for us to read it. And we'd never heard of it, but it's also getting an anime adaptation this year on Crunchyroll. So we decided to dive right in. But
before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, notification videos on upcoming reviews, hacks, tips, videos, and more.
Yes, thank you for joining us, subscribing to our channel, sharing our videos, commenting, everything you do. We appreciate it very, very much.
Yes.
So this is something, as we mentioned, we had no knowledge of and didn't expect to cover. So what we're going to do is do a first look with the manga, talk a little about the trailer that came out for the anime, and then if we end up watching the anime itself and or completing the manga, then we'll cover each of those on pause itself.
Yes.
So this is just like a heads up and letting you know about something we found interesting.
Right.
So if you're like us and not familiar with Gachiakuta, it's a manga series written and illustrated by Kei Urana, and it actually was serialized in Kodansha like a lot are back in February of 2022. And it's action, dark fantasy, and dystopian.
Okay.
And when you see the trailer, you'll absolutely know that it's dystopian.
Yeah, I haven't heard one of those in a while. And again, we didn't even know this manga existed. We didn't even hear about an anime announcement when we were looking at the upcoming series and stuff for spring of this year. It's just all of a sudden, it's like, where did this show come from?
Yeah. And it was so odd because the day before the trailer released, and I got an email about it from Crunchyroll. That's when we got the book from the librarian.
Yeah.
So it was like no coincidences.
Right.
And then we weren't sure if we were going to read it or not. And when we looked through it, we weren't sure. So I read it first, and I'm like, yeah, we got to give this a try.
Okay.
So the manga itself has 14 volumes and is still currently running.
Yes, got a lot already.
And the exciting part is the anime itself is being done by Studio Bones.
So, you know, look very high quality.
So we're really excited for that. And it's not releasing until July. So first let's talk about the manga and then the trailer that was released.
Yes.
So the plot itself revolves around an MC named Rudo, who's a young boy. We don't know how old it is. It's not told in the manga.
Right.
This
We're just
time.
going to assume teenager.
And he lives in the slums of wealthy society among the tribesfolk population descended from criminals exiled by society. So this sounds kind of like it was inspired by different things in real life, where you have islands and things here that used to be where criminals were sent to. It also seems to be inspired to me by Owen Colfer's War.
Yes. Yes, definitely. And it's exactly how you think it plays out. You got the one side that's the very wealthy and they're extreme when it comes to cleanliness. And for them, anything that is any type of dent or scratch or even a speck of dirt on something, if it's not in its new condition like you usually see it, they immediately throw it away. Literally to the extreme. And the same goes for people as well. They use a lot of the term unclean, and it's a very heavy subject within the story because they have made the entire city like this where it's divided. Anyone caught on one side, the other gets immediately taken out.
Yeah, I said war, guys, but I meant warped.
Oh,
so
warped.
if you know Owen Colfer, then you know what I meant.
Right.
And he has someone who's been acting as his father named Regto. And you know before you even finish reading it, something's going to happen to him. It happens in all of the manga, like Erased and many others. You end up having that parental figure taken out.
Really quick, yeah.
So in here he's taken out. But originally Regto adopted him, and he's called a spherite.
Yeah.
And the spherite is what the people who have been thrown below into the abyss, so to speak, call the people who live above them.
Yeah.
Now that's going to be clarified a little more, I'm sure, in more volumes.
Yes.
But from the way that we see it from the MC's point of view, they're thrown down. But they told them, no, we're not down.
Yeah.
And we're like, huh?
Yeah, that was, I guess, the sort of plot twist in here.
Right.
They have a place called the Pit, not to be confused with the one from regular show with the trash pit.
Right.
It really has, I guess, for them, people that were lower than the tribesfolk, and there they send criminals down there, I guess, to just perish. But a lot of them survive, but they live literally in the trash. It's like Wall-E turned up to 11 and, like you said, turned dystopian, because it does get pretty heavy quickly after a couple chapters.
So what happens for Rudy is he begins to get the garbage out, and he fixes it or repurposes it, and he gives it to people. And so the government finds out, and then they decide to set him up, and unfortunately set him up by taking out Recto, his dad. So he's accused of murdering him. They set him up to look like he does, and so he spread eagle, and they tell him that they're gonna throw him in and they're gonna kill him. And then of course when he falls in, you find out there's lots of people living there. They're not dead.
Yes.
But at this point, it doesn't look like there's a way back up. But then he meets someone called Engine, who's a leader of the cleaners that live, from what we think, below ground.
Right.
Or he lives with the trash beasts. They're trash beasts that look like characters from the Promised Neverland.
Yes.
And Engine is the leader of the cleaners, who saves Rudo from the trash beast. And he's also the leader of Team Akuta, one of the teams that is composed of the cleaners.
Right.
And so this guy says, well, I know someone who can probably tell you how to get back up there, but in order for me to help you do that, you got to join the cleaners.
Yeah.
And then we find out he wants them to join because he has a pair of gloves. And these gloves have been imbued with care and love and attention, and they've taken on a life. And in this book series, things where people treat them with kindness and love them and care for them, they actually become alive.
Right. And that is the setup for the power system within this particular series, which something you really hadn't seen before. Usually it's always a magical weapon that's already there, but there's a pretty interesting concept of having something be so well taken care of that you could even use it like this. So they introduced something new here.
And from what I understand, this is supposed to be reminiscent of the Watchmen series, the gloves that he has on.
Right. Yeah, sure it does, because Rorschach and a couple other characters have those pretty thick type gloves in there. So
we've only met a few characters besides Rudo and Engine. There's Zanka, Nijiku, Rio Reaper, and Simiyu, and they're all part of the cleaners and work at the headquarters, and we'll find out more about them when we read more of the manga.
Right.
So there are lots of graffiti that appear in the manga, and that's designed by Endo Hideyoshi. So that's pretty neat that they have a graffiti artist who actually creates the graffiti that's in the
It's
manga.
not just trying to copy the style, it's someone that actually does the style.
Yes. And so I'm kind of excited about reading more of this because it's an interesting storyline. And yes, again, it's reminiscent of a couple of other things, but it seems like its own story and its own universe. And that makes it really interesting to us.
Yes.
So, looks like it was well received. Back in 2022, it actually received the Next Manga Award.
Oh, wow.
And it ranked number 13 in the print manga category. And it took, look, 3 years for it to actually get its own anime.
Well, I guess it had more enough time to get enough story out, so now anime will be caught up with the manga so quickly.
Now, you've been seeing within here clips from the anime trailer. And if you want to see it, you can go to Crunchyroll.com and see it, or type it in on YouTube.
Yes.
So the series, as we mentioned, is being produced by Studio Bones, directed by Fumihiko Suganuma, coming out in July of 2025 on CBC TV, TBS and their affiliates, and Crunchyroll is going to be the exclusive streamer of the series so far as we know. And Medialink licensed the series in Southeast Asia. The music is coming from Taku Iwasaki. He's going to be the composer.
Okay.
So it looks like it's going to be really interesting. You know Bones from FMA.
Yeah.
And other.
Academia.
Yes. So you know It's going to look good and it's going to be good, and I'm looking forward to actually seeing it.
Yes.
So if you have read Gachiakuta, again, let us know if I pronounced it correctly. Let us know in the comments if you're familiar with it already, if you read the entire series up to date, or you're looking forward to the anime. Let us know. If you haven't, just based on the first volume, we're going to say go ahead and give it a try.
Yes.
Because it's really interesting. The characters are even interesting already just within the first volume. We're really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen.
Yes.
And of course, we hope there's going to be a happy ending, but since the manga hasn't ended yet, we don't know.
Time. And concerning a lot of the well-beloved anime and manga series like Demon Slayer, JJK, My Hero Academia are now ended.
Yeah.
It's now time to see a new set of mangas that are going to be going on for a while and what people will gravitate towards.
It's something to look forward to for the summer. So give it a read, come back, and tell us what you think.
Yes. And don't forget to like, subscribe, notification for updates on upcoming reviews, hacks, videos, and so much more.
Yes, thank you so much for joining, subscribing to our channels again. We appreciate all that you do. Don't forget, if you haven't already, check out Rascal's channel. It is awesome under Rascal Entertainment.
Thank you.
And don't forget, if you have any recommendations you have for us for manga or anime, let us know, because so much is coming out this month.
Yeah, ridiculously.
Oh, we got a long list, and we know that at least 5 of these anime are going to be awesome.
Yes.
Including Fire Force Returning,
yes,
which we're looking forward to.
Yes.
And let us know what anime you're looking forward to this month in the comments below as well.
Yes.
So, thanks for joining us.
I'm Rascal.
I'm Julie.
Have a fantastic day.
Continue to be happy, healthy, whole, oh so wonderful, my specials. See you next time.